Hey everybody, Logan here. Today, well, I'm doing a comparison. Why, you ask? Well, people have been asking me under my latest video. They've been saying, hey, what about the Vader 4 Pro? How does this compare to the Vader 4 Pro? And that's the Manba One V2. I just covered the new version of the Mambo 1. Now, this one, that big screen, a lot of people really like it, but there are certain features that it doesn't have that the Vader 4 Pro has from Flydigi. But you're going to notice something about this one. It's missing a key feature that this one has. I'm pretty sure you can see it right now. But we're going to take a look at these two controllers. We're going to compare them physically, and then we're going to compare them technically. Let's get into it. Here we go. We've got the Manba One V2 right here and the Flydigi Vader 4 Pro here. I'm not sure why people have been asking me, but they've been asking me, hey, how does one compare to the other? To be honest, I wouldn't have even put them in the same category, mainly because of the standout feature of the screen, and here is the lack thereof. The closer one to this one, in my opinion, I thought people would be asking, would be the Apex 4 by Flydigi. But after looking at a couple comments and seeing what people are saying, it's price range, I think, that's really doing it. So let's take a look at the Vader 4 Pro first, because this has some features right away you could see the difference, but we're going to talk about the Vader 4 Pro first. Now, one thing a lot of people have been mentioning, which I think is a standout feature of the Vader 4 Pro, is the tension rings. So here you have these adjustable rings that will allow you to adjust the tension on the sticks, make them stiffer, make them lighter, depending on what you're playing. It also has two front-faced mappable buttons. Personally, I don't use those. They just feel weird. They remind me of the Xbox, the OG Xbox Controller S. You know that one that has, well, this one right there, the black and white buttons. Yes, this is one for the Series X. I use that one all the time by Hyperkin. Great controller. This one has mechanical buttons all around except for these triggers. You have, if you look on the back, 4 programmable buttons as well as trigger locks. You don't have any rubber grips here. It's just a textured plastic. You have a charge port right there so you can dock it. Otherwise, you've got some decent RGB lighting. And I don't think this has any power. Oh, it's died. So, yep. Unfortunately, this one's died. Oh, there we go. There we go. Just took a little longer than I expected. So you've got that RGB lighting. Okay, RGB lighting right there. Changes color. That's nifty, but there's not too much there. So you're going to notice there's a big similarity between this and the Manba One V2 because of that. But this is overall a solid controller. You still have wireless at 1000 Hertz. Type-C connector for charging or wired play. You have that connector, which I've found out you can do a mobile dock, so you can put your phone there if you're using your phone with said dock. But overall, it's a solid controller. Now, if we head on over to the Manba One V2, one of the glaring differences that's pretty much staring you right in the face is that massive screen. You have an on and off button back here. See, you have your RGB, okay, I'll stop, RGB lighting on the side. You have your rather large screen. Through here, you can just control all the aspects and all the customizability of your controller, custom inputs, custom button functionality, all that, as well as your colors through, and what system or platform you're going to be using. I forgot about that. This one also has a faceplate. You can take that faceplate off, you can swap them out. The lights are on the side, not on the front. You do have mechanical face buttons, membrane floaty D-pad, Hall effect sticks in both, Hall effect triggers, standard shoulder buttons, Type-C connectability, as well as 4 mappable buttons on the back with trigger locks. So both of them have 2 trigger lock settings. Some controllers have 3, this does not. This also does not have a rubberized grip. This one has a textured plastic back here. I think the texture wrap all the way around is a bit better, but that is not very uncomfortable. It's not much of a grip per se because it's a lot smoother, but it's considered a grip. Now, this comes with a dock. USB dongle is in there. This does not come with a dock. You have to purchase it separately. So basically what we're looking at here, customizable face buttons, customizable screen. D-pads, kind of similar. This one's a bit stiffer. This one's a bit lighter. This one, like I said, is floaty. This one isn't as floaty, if that makes any sense. If you know, you know. This has adjustable tension Hall effect sticks. This one does not. So this is what a lot of people have been asking me about. Are the tension adjustable rings worth it? Depends on your play style. Personally, no. I do not really care as much. I set them once and that's it. Never touch them. I play a handful of first-person shooters, mainly actually third-person on PC. I don't do much PC gaming in terms of shooters. Crazy, I know, but I'll play about 2 or 3 different ones, and the ones I usually do care more about sensitivity, I'll play with a mouse. But my third-person shooters that I do play on PC, that's what I use the controller for. So there you go to clear things up on that. I've had a couple questions about that. This one, that screen. Do you like button placement of the Manba 1, or do you like the button placement on the back of the Vader 4? I'm not a big fan of back buttons. Personally, I like the ones on the Manba V2 because it's a little easier to press on the back. This, it's a different, more of a rocker style and sliding from one to the next. If you're on the back, you'll slide. But I'm not a big fan of back buttons in general. For me, maybe a reload on the back, so I don't have to move a shoulder off the fire button. That's about it. Now, with that being said, all that being out of the way, technical is what a lot of people are asking about, but physical, that's physical right there. So what do you like better in terms of what's physically on the controller and given to you as soon as you look at the controller? Now, I have found a website that goes through a number of different controllers and gives you technical specs, Gamepadla, and we're going to take a look at that. It does much better than any of the other websites I found. I think it's a great website. So let's take a look, and maybe this will help seal the deal on you deciding which one is best. So here's Gamepadla, the site that I had referenced before. I think it's a really nifty site in terms of technical specs that there's no way I can just test myself. So I think this is a great reference source. Check them out, Gamepadla. Yeah, so first we're going to take a look at the Vader 4 Pro. So one thing I do like about this site, that it wraps everything up in a neat little package, if you will. So if you take a look, the Flydigi Vader 4 Pro, it is user verified on this site, so you don't have to worry about it. It's not just something that's made up. Android, iOS, Linux, PC, Nintendo Switch, those are the platforms it's compatible with. Interfaces, Bluetooth, cable, and a dongle. Originally released back in June of 2024, and that's when I initially covered it. I think it was a few weeks before launch day. They sent me two early review units, this one and the Assassin's Creed version. Now the price range here is an interesting little find. It's $79 to $99 depending on where you're buying it. Now if we go down and we take a look, you could see the Vader 4 Pro input lag comparison. So here's the little chart, but to me the hard numbers are what I like to see, because yeah, you can check it out here, number 5, and you can go down and see which one, like number 5 with cable in comparison to all the other ones with the highest input latency. But if you just go down here and you look at the different connections, you got dongles input, input here. You have 2 different ones, both sitting at 1000 Hertz, Windows 11. Okay, that's one way to test it. And you've got the minimum latency down here. You've got cable, 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 switch, zinput, zinput, Bluetooth, 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 switch, switch, zinput. So it gives you everything there at the different hertz. So you have 1,000, 125 hertz on the switch. Yeah. 1,000 hertz on your PC or mobile, depending on what you're connected to. Here you're also at 500 hertz compared to 125. So it looks like the best thing to do for this controller, if you're playing it on the Switch, is connect it via Bluetooth. Now, if you're running dongle on your PC, that's going to be, of course, the best way to do it, as well as cable. I always suggest playing this on PC, because these controllers, yes, they are built to work with the Switch, but they are optimized for PC. So this gives you your stick latency. Now you've got your button latency. Dongles input, cable switch, cables input, Bluetooth switch, Bluetooth zinput. Your average latency is going to be right here, 7.9 compared to max latency 10.28 with the dongle at 1,000 hertz. So your polling rate, your actual polling rate compared to the suggested polling rate. So that is another good feature that this site lists, because it says 100, for example, let's go back up here. With your stick latency, 125 hertz, you're actually getting 130 hertz. Here it says 125, you're still getting 130. But if you go back to Bluetooth on Switch, you're losing. So it seems like using it on the Switch really isn't the way to go, unless you're running a cable here, because in your buttons are over the latency. Same thing here, your buttons are over the latency. But honestly, if you're going to go anything for the Switch, I wouldn't suggest these. I would usually get ones that are designed specifically with the Switch in mind, instead of, hey, you can also use this with the Switch. So this is your stick test of Flydigi Vader 4. So that's pretty cool. So you got your inner dead zones, your outer dead zones. That's none. Outer dead zones, oh wow, less than 1.2. Okay, so that's pretty high. Stick resolution 2000, asymmetry index 7.3, 4.6, circle error 0.1, 0.1%, central accuracy 1.8, 1.9. This seems like a very solid controller with all these tests. Now you can, if you want more information, you can check the site. That's kind of interesting. Love this. Oh, it's only 2 votes, so it's 50-50. Yeah, okay, not that big of a deal. Now what we're going to do is jump over to the Manba One V2. Now if you look at the Manba One V2, July 20th, 2024. Now this is one that was actually sent to me a little late. They were originally going to send it to me, but they were like, hey, do you guys want to review it, or do you want to wait till we have the nicer box? I was like, whatever you guys want. So yeah, I got the nicer box, but I got it quite a few months late. Now I was like, okay, so be it. Here we have compatible Android, iOS, Linux, PC, Nintendo Switch. Now this one's just verified, where the other one is user verified. Interesting. Price $69.99 on Amazon. Here we go, back with the same. Ooh, this is not as good. Dongle switch, dongles input, cables input, Bluetooth switch, Bluetooth zinput. All the numbers are significantly lower. Significantly lower. Everything. So you're not really getting the full 1,000 hertz. You are only getting 752. Wow. Okay. Button latency. Yeah, you're not getting the full 1,000 hertz. Whew. Polling rate. Still not getting the full 1,000 hertz. Everything. Everything. Oof. Okay. That's good to hear. So it says, note, latency with an asterisk are based on polling rate and do not represent actual input lag. All right. Oof. Inner dead zone, none. Outer latency, low. Okay. It's the central accuracy, which kind of bothers me. Wow, worst center, worst center. That's not good. You know, the dead zones, the outer dead zones, not bad. Not bad. Where the Vader 4 Pro had a much higher outer dead zone. So, oof. But here, that, as soon as I saw the central latency, central accuracy, that bothers me. That bothers me. Okay, so there we go. And then you've got the rest of the technical specs here. I'm not going to go over all that because then this video would be a 3-hour video. But yeah, I'm going to link Gamepadla in the description. Oof. All right. What do you guys think? After seeing the comparison of the two controllers physically and seeing the information from Gamepadla, again, I'm going to drop them in the description below. That was the first time I've compared two controllers like that on Gamepadla. Before, I would just look at each individual controller, and that's a very interesting tool we got there. So in the future, I'm going to compare and use that quite a bit more. I'm not sponsored by them or anything. I just happen to find them, and I think it's a very useful tool, especially if you're buying controllers for PC. The Switch might be a different story, but yes, definitely if you're buying controllers for the PC, I think that comes in handy quite a bit. With that being said, what did you guys think? Do you like the Vader 4 Pro better? Or do you like the Manba One V2? I really like the Manba One V2. After comparing the stats, I've changed my mind. Mambo One V2 was my choice. Now it's Vader 4 Pro. That's going to be my standard controller for PC for the time being until I start testing other controllers up against each other. We're going to do more of the versus. We've done them for GameSir. We've done them for Flydigi versus Flydigi. This is the first time I've done Mamba versus Flydigi. We're going to have to take a look in the future at other brands against each other, head to head. Probably Easy SMX, probably more Flydigi, maybe some GameSir. It depends, because that Tarantula Pro, you guys might want to see how the Tarantula Pro stacks up against the Vader 4 Pro. Let me know in the comments section below. Tell me what other controllers that you are interested or maybe have questions about buying, or buying one or buying another, and if I have them, I'll compare them for you. Drop it in the comments section. Again, let me know. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you haven't already, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, share this video. That would really help. God bless you all. Like we always say, be legendary. Thanks again.